Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am thankful to you that you have invited me for this purpose. My name is Masood Naqvi. I am a professional accountant, have been the senior partner of one of the big four firms for a very long time. Recently retired, and now I'm looking after as an advisor of that particular firm. So my role is still there, but not as a head, as an active partner in that sense. In respect of the visit, it's not the first visit which I have for Karbala. To be honest, if we have the capacity which we have and been God gifted, we are negligent that we should have been here every year, to be honest. But it hasn't happened that way, but it's about fourth visit of mine in the last about 6-7 years. The reason why would one like to be here, I think there's a difference in terms of the thinking and the way you believe and feel about the things. For example, we go and attend majalises. We have heard all scholars, most of the leading scholars, and we have had a different perception of this place. The perception which comes for this place has been that it's a place where there's a lot of depression, there are a lot of things have happened, and that's why people are not lively, the place will not be lively, and that's how the people believe. But once you visit the place, the whole perception changes, because the whole night it looks like a place which is lit out all night. People are coming into the dargahs and rozas and going out. I mean, it gives a totally different feel. The only place where one believes a similar thing happens is the Holy Kaaba, and where people are coming in and going out, and they've been there for whole night. It doesn't close, and it's exactly the similar way the feeling is there. The moment you land in this particular place, rather than having a depression, you get a feeling of basically a total satisfaction, basically a different concept of environment which comes in. Anybody who has come to, for example, Al-Abbas shrine, comes there, gets closer to the shrine and goes through the various rituals where you have to have the ziyarat of Imam, ziyarat of Al-Abbas, and also the prayers which you on. It's an automatic position. The moment you just go and kiss the door of that place, you start having the tears in your eyes. And that gives a different feeling altogether. Tears are coming in two respects. One is there is a sense of thank, a sense of satisfaction, and we actually want to tell the holy people who were there, they were buried, and the gift of the God which has been given to us, that we have been provided this opportunity to visit. This is one. The other satisfaction which comes in is by virtue of being there, you go into your historic situation. If you have read the incident of the Karbala, and if we have been knowing it through the scholars and the majalis and everything, that whole thing goes through your mind, and you start going through that what happened. And that gives a feeling that in situation where there was very little, despite the fact there was a control, the whole control was there in their hands, which were demonstrated by that thing that they kicked the earth and you could get the water coming out of it. But that was there, but they didn't have that water. They just demonstrated that what is the dedication for the purposes of keeping the holy religion, the only religion I would say which is there in the world, alive and being there. That's what we want to have, and that feeling gives you satisfaction, some sort of a pleasure, not for the incident which has happened that gives the problem. There is the incident, but that is the demonstration that how there could be a class of people who could be that cruel, who could be even calling themselves Muslim, that much away from the Islam, that much distance they have. I think the most important factor for this Karbala incident is this, that if that would have not happened, then these people who are extremists and they are exploiting the teachings of Islam in various respects. They are praying, they are fasting, but they're still doing the things which are nothing to do with Islam. This distinction would have not been there if this incident would have not taken place. Because of that incident and because of that event, what happened, nobody could say that Imam Hussein was wrong. Even those who do have a belief that the others who were ruling at that particular time were Amir, but they still believe as well that Imam Hussein was not wrong. So there is a distinction which has been there. There is a line which has been set up and laid down that people who do what Imam Hussein and the family did are the Muslims. But the others who are calling themselves Muslims but doing the things which are nothing to do with Islam, there's distinction is there. So I think this terrorism, the extremism, and the people who are doing all in this the name of Islam are again in the similar way, basically as happened at that particular time, are becoming tools of various powers who are playing their role to destroy Islam. Yeah, I think if you want to have an answer for this, I would like the people who have visited the West, these UK, Europe, and particularly US, the youngsters, basically the way they have shown the sincerity and the dedication, they are not following it because their parents were following it, because that's very important, because they are in the place and in an age where they challenge even their parents. They challenge the traditions which have been there. But despite that, once it comes to the Karbala and the Imam Hussein, the dedication and sincerity is very different. If you visit the mosques and Imam Bargahs there, the youngsters who are coming in and the way they are trying to actually teach their children, because there are educational centers, the Islamic centers which have been set up, and that youngsters are going through that process all through. They are not happening in the Muslim countries. It's more happening in the non-Muslim countries. So that shows that the concept which been laid out by the Karbala and by Imam Hussein is not something which is different than what the youngsters want to be. Their ambition is basically justice. Their ambition is adl. Their ambition is that they have a right equal to the right of the king or a khalifa or anybody else, basically. That's their, and that's what Islam gives. And that's what the whole incident of Karbala demonstrated, basically. Yeah, because they have thought about it, they have debated and challenged their people there, and then believe it. And so that's the difference between a normal Muslim and a Muslim who has gone through this particular process. So in my opinion, and that is actually doing a lot of good for the religion, because a lot of rituals which were considered as part of the religion are not being considered now, because they believe that this is religion and this is not. This is the tradition or a cultural thing for a particular place, and this is what the religion is. So that's happening. And in what I believe, that if you see the concern which is being shown by a lot of people who are not Muslims, is basically due to this reason. They believe that the way the Islam is spreading through these youngsters, basically, because I've gone and seen people in Birmingham in a few centers, I've gone and seen in Houston and other places where the Islamic center is there, the people who are very well educated, they've done their masters, they've done their doctorates, they're still doing and administering these Islamic centers and giving time to that and working for that. That shows that they believe in it. I think it's very simple, because the place which would be called a heaven is the one where there is a feeling of satisfaction and is a feeling of contentment. That's more important. And in my opinion, the people who are living in luxury, the people who are living in places where the people who are living in places where there are a lot of wealth, there are a lot of glitters, there are a lot of glamour, that is there for a particular period of time. Once you are in a particular function or a particular thing, you have that sort of feel. But when you go back and try to sleep, you get Lexatonol, you get Xanax, you can't sleep. And the paradise, in my opinion, is a place where people have that satisfaction. So they would basically be able to sleep properly and peacefully if they are in that place. So once you enter the Karbala and Najaf to that extent, but particularly Karbala, their feeling which comes is very, very different, altogether very different. For example, I've been here for 3 days now. I think it's very rare that anywhere I visit in the world and I'm not in touch with the office and reacting to various messages coming in. Over here, I just look at my messages once in a day and at times just ignore them, do not even respond to them. That's due to the fact that whatever I was doing for my earning or whatever I am doing for my daily routine is nothing to do with the pleasure which you get of being here, basically. You're absolutely right. I think that's badly needed as well. To be honest, we have got different categories of even the scholars, basically. There are those who are zakirs, who are there just to recite the masaibs, which were there for the Imam Hussein and the people with him and the family. But that's necessary as well, but that's one part of it. The other scholars are those who actually describe and give the clarity about the concepts, why it happened, what was the background to it, how is that could be changed in the future, what actually contribution Karbala has made into the development of the religion Islam. All that has to be understood, and for that you need education. You need educated scholars. You need people who do not believe in something because they have been told to believe in that something, who believe in something because they have challenged the concept and still believed in that. This is how it is.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Mustafa. I am a student. I am a student of A levels. I am studying economics, accounts, and law. I'm from Pakistan. I live in Islamabad, and my college name is Westminster School. Well, at first I was very joyful. Then I felt the sorrow that I was coming here, that the Imam had called me here. And I felt that it was a very prestigious thing for me that I will be coming here at such an age. I'm a 17-year-old and I'm here. Most people don't come here until they're around middle-aged or in late ages. Well, I kind of had goosebumps, which was a very, it is not describable in words, that I cannot describe the feeling I had in words. It is such a feeling that only a heart can feel, and it is not describable. Well, I prayed because our Kafla Salar, he told us that Imam Jafar Sadiq has said, the first three things that come to your mind when you see the dome, that they will be fulfilled. So I prayed that I get an education which is worth it, and I have health, my parents have health, and my younger brother, he has health, and people in my family, relatives, they have health. I went to the shrine of Imam Hassan Askari. I went to the shrine of Sayyid Muhammad. I went to the shrine of the two sons of Hazrat Muslim bin Aqil. They are not describable in words. The words I will give will not fully describe what I felt. The thing I felt was that I am finally here, that my lifelong dream had been fulfilled to visit Karbala once in a lifetime, and it had been achieved. And it was something I felt that will never be describable in words, and something that one of the greatest personalities the history has ever seen, the history will ever see. He was Imam. He gave his life. He gave his family away. He gave his family away for the sake of Islam. And that is something we can never see again. Karbala is the reason that we are here. We live as a Muslim. We are a mu'min. We are the azadar of Hussein. This thing would not have happened if Hussein hadn't sacrificed. The shrine itself is very attractive. And not only that, the shrine of Hazrat Ali Akbar, he was an 18-year-old when he sacrificed his life. which is a very great inspiration for everyone amongst the teenagers. He was one of the, he was 18 at that time when he was sacrificed, when he sacrificed his life for Islam, which is a very great lesson we learned from him. Yes, they exist. They exist. One of the names I can name, ISIS. ISIS, it is one of the Yazidis. They are Yazidis and they are here and they are trying to destroy it. They even try to destroy the dome of Bibi Zainab, Salamun Alaiha, and which is something which exists. Yazidiyat will never finish until the Imam Mahdi Zuhurs. I think that one should work for Islam, one should teach others about Islam, that we should, we are living in such a century where people think Islam is something very bad. And Islam should be preached that it is the religion of peace. It should be taught that it is the religion of love. I say that one should try himself to be a true Muslim, and they should try not to come in the circle of the Yazidis and try not to break the realm, which tells us that Islam is a peaceful, loving religion, and they should tell the world that the religion Islam is a very peaceful religion.